You're listening to episode number 13 of the Wise Photographer podcast. Today we are chatting all about what a model release is and why you need to make sure that you're getting one for each and every session that you're photographing.
Welcome to the Wise Photographer podcast with your host, Chelsea Wise. Each week, Chelsea is bringing you the best tips and tricks to help you create a joyful, profitable, more purpose-filled photography business. Chelsea is a wife and mom of two who has built a thriving photography business in her tiny hometown in western North Dakota. Without further ado, here's your host, Chelsea Wise.
Okay guys, I want to start off with a disclaimer. I am not a lawyer and this podcast is not a substitute for professional legal advice. I will be sharing where I get my contracts and some great resources where you can learn more about and purchase your own. So let's get started with the basics. What is a model release? A model release is a document that is signed by the subject, i.e. your clients, giving you, the photographer, permission to use the images that you take of him or her. It's a legal document between the subject and the owner of the photograph, which is you, the photographer, in which the subject gives permission for you to use their images for a marketing website, blog, etc. Does that make sense? Kind of, not really. Basically, it is your clients saying that you have permission to use the picture that you already own for marketing, website, and blogging. So why do we need a model release? By having a model release in place, you are protecting yourself from legal action being taken against you for using the image of another person. So a model release is going to protect the photographer as well as the person who's being photographed by stating how and where these images may be used. We'll get right back to the podcast, but first, the sponsor for this episode, Trello for Photography. Trello for Photography is an online course that walks you through how to get the most out of Trello to organize your client workflows, keep up with your blogging schedule, and ensure that you never forget what day you're in charge of snacks for the soccer team. No matter if you're a portrait photographer, wedding photographer, offer in-person sales, or digital only, Trello for Photography has a workflow board for you. Having an amazing workflow process that you can replicate over and over is the key to creating raging fans who are singing your name anytime someone's looking for a photographer. Inside Trello for Photography, you'll gain access to my favorite boards, including boards called the 30,000 Foot View, Step Into My Office, and my most used board, My Week. The My Week board actually is where you're going to plan everything that needs to get done each and every day of the week. It's seriously the only way I'm able to keep up with my business, kids, and the housework. You'll gain access to videos walking you through how to use each and every board. Best of all, you get complete lifetime access to boards and updates. Just copy them to your account and start saving time and actually getting things done. Never question whether or not you ordered that album for that wedding client or spend hours searching for a PIN number for a gallery that someone forgot. Best of news, Trello for Photography is just $29. You spend more than that on a single manicure. To find out more and enroll, head over to trelloforphotography.com. That's TRELLOFOR photography.com. Without a model release, we could be infringing on our clients' privacy by showcasing their photos, even if it's just on Instagram or Facebook. So how do you make sure that you're covered? The easiest way to make sure you're covered is to make sure that you have a model release built into the contracts that your clients are signing when they book their sessions. If you need a full contract, I highly suggest checking out Paige Creative Law Shop at shopcreativelaw.com. I love how Paige breaks down things so that they're easily understood. Now, I use Honeybook to house all of my contracts and client communications. I love that I can create contract templates that will auto-populate the names, phone numbers, addresses, and all the product information or package information into my contracts, which is easily sent over for clients to sign electronically. So basically, I just have these template contracts that automatically get filled in when I create a project. I send it over to my clients, they sign it, and then I can send them a copy of the signed contract, and I have a copy for myself. Easy peasy. All right, so there are some certain times when you may need to have someone sign a model release after the picture has been taken. For instance, Paige gives the example on her website that if you decided to publish a photo of a bridal party, but you haven't had those bridesmaids sign anything saying that they consent. So you can send just a simple model release over to members of the bridal party. Model releases are essential in the cases of stylized shoots, where the primary purpose of the session is to create marketing and branding images. The Creative Law Shop offers a complete stylized shoot contract, which has the model release already built in. Another critical thing to note is that you need to obtain a model release each and every time you photograph a client. So even if it's a repeat client, legally, you need to get a new model release every time you photograph them. There you have it, guys, the short and sweet of a model release. If you haven't already joined our Facebook Insiders group, I would love for you to join us. Go ahead and search Wise Photographer Podcast Insiders on Facebook, or you can head to the link in the show notes below. That is it for now, guys. I will see you next week. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Wise Photographer Podcast. Dive into the show's notes for this episode and all past episodes at www.thewisephotographer.com. If you loved the show, share it with a friend. Thanks for tuning in, you Wise Photographer, you.